Hi, welcome to Enter the Bunker, where we launch you into thriving. Each week we talk about a different virtue that can be used as a building brick to build your own personal bunkers. We share personal stories, as well as tips and tricks to help you thrive instead of survive. So sit down, relax, and enter the bunker.
Hello, and welcome to Enter the Bunker. This week's building brick is beauty. My name's Kelly.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we're going to go over the meaning for part one. A sense of wonder and reverence for the harmony, color, and loveliness of the world, calling on our creativity to add to the beauty in the world. That's quite the meaning. I like the word loveliness.
Loveliness.
Yeah.
Why do you like that word?
I don't know. It just sounds like a nice word. The loveliness of the world.
So a sense of wonder and reverence for the harmony, color, and loveliness of the world. So
that's like not possessional things, right?
Right. So what are times when you refer to something as beautiful?
My children.
Really?
Their faces.
Okay. Is that from a sense of wonder and reverence?
I don't know. What's reverence again? What's wonder? I feel like these reverence and wonder, they're like, you know what they mean, but they just also go so deep too. And I know we've already done the building bricks on them too. So
that's right.
Yeah.
So reverence and wonder they kind of go hand in hand, but I think that it's just something that it's interesting. I mean, like, do you think that a computer would be able to recognize beauty?
Like an AI?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past it nowadays.
Do you think that they could create something that we would regard as beautiful?
Right.
But
would they recognize it?
Could they be able to recognize it as beautiful?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I don't think so. I think they can synthesize replicating
But
patterns.
Like somebody could program.
Yeah, they can replicate patterns for what we would consider harmonious color, loveliness, and things like that based on how we interact with it and say, that is beautiful.
Right.
But I don't think that they could get a sense for it themselves.
Yeah. I don't know.
Do you think that that's where we get it?
From computers?
No, from how we are raised. Do you think that beauty is something that's inferred on us by our culture, maybe? Like, for example, you look at some places, okay, for example, I don't know, me growing up, if you looked at like fashion magazines and stuff like that, it was like stick women and stuff like that, right? And like thin was in and all that kind of stuff.
But now
and that's beautiful.
Curves are in.
Right.
Right.
And then you go to other parts of the world and they want someone who's really big.
Right. Okay.
So to them, that is beautiful.
So I think everybody has their own interpretation of beauty.
Well, it's what they give reverence and wonder to, right?
Okay.
And that has meaning depending on who you ask and why, right?
Okay.
So beauty is something that's very subjective to the beholder.
Yeah.
And if we can be able to understand what matters to people, you can understand what's beautiful to them. Take, for example, a coder, right? A developer,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
What if you show him lines of code and it's like really clean and it's got a certain style to it, he's looking at that going, wow, right?
Yeah.
But then you show that to, say, you, and you're like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
Right? And it's not beautiful at all to you,
no,
right?
Not at all.
But to him, he's just like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
So it's because he's able to have wonder and reverence for what he's witnessing.
Yeah.
Right? Or she.
Yeah.
But for you don't have that. So it's that sense that we get that sense of beauty from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beauty is deep. Okay, let's get into some quotes here. We got 4 quotes. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Confucius. Look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. Albert Einstein. Sunsets are proof that endings can often be beautiful too. Bo Taplin. And finally, He who marvels at beauty of the world in the summer will find equal wonder and admiration in the winter. John Burroughs. Which one do you like?
I liked Albert Einstein's.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah. So
and that was, okay.
look
right.
deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. It's interesting. He's not actually referring to beauty specifically there.
No.
However, he is
Nature's beautiful.
giving reference to, yeah, if you look into nature and look deeply into it, you'll see the beauty in it all, and you'll understand things better and appreciate them.
But that doesn't go for everybody. Because like, then you take your dev and they might not see the beauty in nature like they see it in the code,
Yeah, that's true.
you know?
Yeah, for Einstein though,
But for Einstein, that was his.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this in previous podcasts too, where you just take a minute and like look at the stars or listen to the river running or the
Yeah.
waterfalls and that sort of thing. I feel like when he says that, he's saying, take that minute and
Yeah.
take the beauty in.
And just like you said about, a coder versus what Albert Einstein thinks about nature,
Yeah.
Confucius said, everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. So for
I think that
Einstein,
was
he would see it in nature, but then
Yeah.
a coder wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know? Or maybe he could, but it's just an example. They're more apt to seeing more beauty and logic and things like that than
Yeah.
looking deep into nature, which has a lot of randomness in it.
I like that one by Confucius. Everything has beauty. Because it does, that's just like hits the nail on the head right there. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Everyone sees it beauty in their own ways. Okay, cool. All right, let's get into the opening. Open your eyes, or better yet, open your heart and your eyes. I bet you will find that life is beautiful. Find beauty in the mundane. Find beauty in the everyday. Find beauty in the negative. In short, find beauty in the good, bad, and the ugly. It may take some effort, but you can find beauty everywheres. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain. No other popular quote captures the idea of beauty being anywhere than that one. If you really look at anything, whether it be a person, an object, an event, or a happening, you will find something beautiful about it. It just takes some effort sometimes. But if you can train yourself to make that effort, you'll reward yourself with seeing beauty everywhere as you look. So that's one of my favorite quotes. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It is about learning to dance in the rain.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's that illustrates it great. There's another story apparently, and I may be totally butchering it, but this is what I recall it as, with Jesus Christ, and I think it was with his disciples.
Okay.
And apparently they were passing by and there was a dead dog on the street, as would be in that day.
Okay.
And they looked at the dead dog and they were disgusted by it, like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, oh, look, that dead dog, it smells so bad. And they were like, oh, look, it's like rotting flesh. And every one of them was just disgusted by what they saw.
Yeah.
And then Jesus Christ, of course, said, look at how beautiful and white his teeth are. Right?
Yeah.
That may totally not be a real story, but that's what I remember the story as. So the point being was Christ was able to see the beauty in all that ugliness.
And even though everybody else seen the ugly.
And everyone was focusing on the ugly, which is to the point that it is it's what you focus on and it's what you see.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Christ being Christ was able to focus on the beauty and in what was in what this dead dog was than everybody else, which was just focusing on the grotesqueness of it all.
Yeah.
So
I actually remember when we first got a few new staff and we have one left, Abigail. I'm pretty sure I messaged Abigail and I was like, it's pouring outside. Come dance in the rain with me. Like, come run outside in the rain. And just like, do you remember that? Yeah. So yeah, that's fun. I'm all for doing that. Like, just let my kids, if they want to go run out in the rain when it's pouring down rain, like give her, like take in that beauty.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So it talks about training yourself to make the effort. So I think that kind of goes back to where I was talking to, like, just take a minute and look at the stars, or take a minute and listen to that waterfall, or what are some other examples? Like, because we're talking about practicing and like training yourself to make the effort, because then you're just going to do it all the time.
Well, I think in our next episode, we're going to give tips on how to see it everywhere. So
I guess I was just trying to give some.
If you want to, if in terms of training yourself to make the effort, again, it's just like asking yourself the question. It's like, what's the beauty in this?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes people say, what's the silver lining?
Right.
That's kind of like people would say, well, that's looking at the positive of something that looks bad.
Glass half full, half empty.
Glass half full, glass half. Yeah, but if it's about like, what's beautiful about this, it's just like, well, this is beautiful and that's beautiful, and then it's a little bit different than having a just positivity.
Right.
It's having the wonder
and the reverence.
right? And the reverence. Yes. So with that,
I get it now.
then we really begin to appreciate what's going on versus just saying, "Oh, things are looking up," you know, kind of thing. Right? so it's a bit different, but at the same time, you can do that in anything, in any situation, right? And then it doesn't just become about being positive, rah 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 about something. It's about like, wow, yeah, this is amazing, you know, and then just like really feel it, you know?
Okay. All right. So join us for part 2, where we discuss how to find beauty everywheres. We'll see you there.
All you beautiful people, we'll see you there.
Thank you for listening to Enter the Bunker. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, where you can share your story and also look at behind the scenes of how we make our podcast. You can watch the video version of this podcast on YouTube by simply searching Enter the Bunker. Tune in next time as we launch into thriving.